All right, so Acts chapter 14, verse 12. And they called Barnabas Jupiter and Paul Mercurius because he was the chief speaker. Like Jupiter and Mercury, right? So they're worshiping the planets and the stars and the sun. Who knows what, they were worshiping all these heavenly things in right, heavenly bodies. Very amazing. Like they came to the wrong conclusion. So now they're calling Barnabas Jupiter and Paul Mercury. And then verse 13. Then the priest of Jupiter, which was before their city, brought oxen and garland unto the gates, and would have done sacrifice with the people. I mean, they're getting gung-ho about this now. What? They want to do sacrifices to Paul and Barnabas as they're some kind of gods of the planets, right? See, the priest of Jupiter, because this is all witchcraft. And if you know about the church of witchcraft, they have priests too, priests and priestesses. So, right, the priest of Jupiter, he's like, oh yeah, we got some oxen. Come on, we can do some sacrifices unto these gods now. And Paul and Barnabas. Wow, amazing, right? And see, they would have done sacrifice with the people. And then verse 14, when the apostles Barnabas and Paul heard of it, they rent their clothes and ran in among the people, crying out. They say, wait a minute, what? It's probably like seeing like the oxen coming in and the garland and all this. They're probably like, what are these guys doing here? And then they heard, wait a minute. They came in crying out. It's like, whoa. They're ripping their clothes like this. No, this is not going to happen. This is not right. They're crying out. Continue in verse 15. And saying, sirs, why do ye these things? We also are men of like passions with you, and preach unto you that ye should turn from these vanities unto the living God, which made heaven and earth and the sea and all things that are therein. Right? You're coming to the wrong conclusions. You're still worshiping things that are not God, that are not the living God. Right? This is vanity. Turn from these vanities to the living God, which created all these things. You're still worshiping the creation, not the creator. He's like, what's going on here? And then, in verse 16, he's continuing. Who in times past suffered all nations to walk in their own ways. He said, suffering this humanity to worship all the wrong things instead of the true, the one and only living God. And then verse 17, nevertheless, he left not himself without witness, in that he did good and gave us rain from heaven and fruitful seasons, filling our hearts with food and gladness. Oh man, nevertheless, he's still going to do good, Right? Nevertheless, he didn't leave himself without a witness. He gave us all the things that we needed, even though they were not worshiping the true God. That's what he's saying. So, and he gave us rain from heaven, fruitful, filling our hearts with food and gladness. Amazing. He said, nevertheless, he suffered these things, but he still gave us what we needed.